people murdered. Then by July the 4th, we have 5 murders in one day. My concern is that we have low police response. They are letting our city, county jails are letting people with gun violence records out. So that's allowing them to come out and commit the same crime all over again, and the next crime is murder. It seems like our mayor is not responding to anything that's going on in the Black community because we have not heard anything from them. I have people that's coming to my house asking me, what can we do, about all this gun violence? It's just me. I just had one violence walk, So I came down here to get answers from our city council to find out what is next. I did notice that Hawkins, on the west side of Akron, on Hawkins and Copy Road, they does have surveillance cameras now, but that's in that one area. I don't know if the other cameras are actually working, but it's a problem. It's the problem, and how long are we going to just keep standing around ignoring it? I see on the committee, it's people of color. We got to worry about, what's going on in our community. We are, I'm concerned with, is it that because of all this racism that our ex-president had put into the community, is starting to affect our police, our city council, our judges, our mayors. I mean, it's just starting to, you can just feel the vibe. We want to know answers. We want somebody to speak up and say, hey, what's going on? What are we going to do? How can we start to fix it? We are, it's getting to the point to where young Black children are being murdered on the street and they're just outside playing. You can't even allow them to play in their own front yard anymore because you never know when the gun violence is going to range. So we need your help. We need your help. We need to start to put something together. I don't care if it's neighborhood watch. How can we do? We need to go pull some out of the old hat. And the old hat back in the day, this was addressed. And even if you got to be in the feds back in, RICO Act for these gangs, these kids is 14, 15 years old carrying AK-47 rifles. Where are they getting this from? Are we asking these questions? I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Fan. Emery Begley.
Hello, my name is Emery Begley and I live at 46 West Street in Ward 1. I am here tonight to discuss the issue of policing in the city of Akron and specifically the appointment of the new police chief. I'm going to spare you more statistics because I think you've heard enough of them tonight and instead come to you tonight as a concerned citizen and more so as a concerned parent. You see, I am currently teaching my 16-year-old how to drive and I am terrified. I'm terrified for the same reasons that any other parent is terrified, but more so I'm terrified because my child is deaf. And Micah gave me permission to share all of this with you, but they are also visibly queer, nonviolent, and disabled. We spent the last year working up to this, working on procedures. Keep your hands visible. Do not sign. State as clearly as possible, I am deaf. I have the legal right to an interpreter. In my house, we view disabilities as a thing of beauty, but not everybody does. And I've had to teach my child that. Police are trained to see intoxication. They are trained to see risk and malice instead of identity and beauty and disability. I've had to teach Micah that their congenital nystagmus will cause them to fail a field sobriety test and that police will not believe them when they say it's a medical condition. I have taught them to disclose their conditions even without an advocate, a parent, or interpreter if they feel that they are at risk. But you see, my child and I have a shield. We have a shield that Micaiah Bryant didn't have. We have one that Andre Hill didn't have, that Casey Goodson didn't have, that Tamir Rice didn't have, that George Floyd didn't have. We have one that all of the Black people in this country that have been killed by police did not have. Because you see, my children and I are white, and in America, that is a shield. The newly appointed Chief of Akron Police Department, Steve Mylett, has a long history of racism, of homophobia, of ableism, and of other problematic attitudes and behaviors. He is wrong for the law enforcement career, and he is wrong for our city. I hope that you will step up and you will do what is right for our city, its marginalized citizens in our communities, and you will withdraw the offer and terminate his employment and work to find other solutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Emery. Tanya Lawrence.
Good evening, and yes, it is a good evening and a great time to be alive. And I applaud you, Madam President Margot Somerville, for your excellent job. You deserve to be there. I don't care who your father is. God put you there. And woman to woman, we gonna turn the city upside down. And I'll go with my speech because I'm a woman. I talk too much. I'm worried there. But my name is Sister Tanya Williamson Lawrence Albrecht King Jr. I was just adopted by my two bosses because they know my condition. And I had no help in 27 years, but that's all right. I was born for this. But I'm on an extended vacation from Akron Cape Market and Akron General Medical Center. First of all, I am healthy, wealthy, and rich. And our city, state, and federal government is dirt poor, functioning on a hair and a string lace. And we, the people, taxpayers, the government is a Lincoln Continental, driving around the corner on fumes. How far are they going to get? Well, the first proposal to keep money in our city is to fire our newly appointed police chief, no name, and tell him nobody, me, because they never give me a title in the church. That's all right, I'm a nobody. Tell him nobody myself, on behalf of God, the citizens, we the people, and all the law enforcement services, men of all kinds of rank. We have been and shall take care of our own problems, created by outsiders, this great city of Akron. Well, I have 6 generations in this community, some buried in Mount Peace. Fire the new police chief in Jesus' name. And you are obligated to represent we the people. Tear up his contract in his face. Tell him nobody said to try to sue this great city of Akron. And we, the people, the court officers, the law enforcement, the judges will see that it's tied up in court and he won't have a penny in his pants pocket. And God Almighty will make sure he doesn't have a leg to hop on. This is unfair. We've seen in the past where past presidents do the same tactic, wiles of the devil, fire the air controllers. We've seen this wiles of the devil displayed with Akron General Medicine, fire licensed practical nurse without notice or service pay. This is all a message throughout the world. Loyalty, faithfulness, dedication, seniority to the area of businesses and the community is meaningless importance. We need all.
Your time is up.
Okay. Well, that's important. Fire in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, Sister Lawrence. Kathy Wilkins.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Wilkins, 412 East South Street. The issue that I'm bringing today in front of you is that these after-hour bars that are in neighborhoods, I know it's not just mine, but other ones in the city, that we need to do something about them. They come in, they wake up everybody in the neighborhood, they park wherever they want to. Ours happens to be on East South Street. They call it the Sky Lounge. They don't start coming in until 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, I tended bar for over 10 years. Now, I know liquor comes off the bar at 2:30. Why would you even open a half hour before that? Then the people stay until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Most people I know between 4 and 6 in the morning, they're either sleeping or they're getting ready to go to work or coming home from work. They're not out partying in the middle of the street. Now, we have like I say, all these people coming in. We've got gunshots. It's been, well, since about the end or middle to the end of March since all this has been happening. Every Friday and Saturday night, come 2 o'clock, it's like a choo-choo train. The cars just start coming in, they park wherever they want to, blocking driveways, loud, the music's loud. They just get out of their cars and urinate wherever they want to. I mean, they have no pride whatsoever. You know, then these people would be standing right there and they just drop their drawers and do their thing. Now that's stretches things a bit, but we've got them, like I said, this is every Friday and Saturday night, sometimes Thursday nights, and they leave their trash, broken bottles every place. We got liquor bottles everywhere. Like I said, the music's going loud. They're speeding up and down the street with their loud cars. They've got doing 360s in the middle of the intersection to the point where there's so much smoke you can't even see. They blocked the South Street. Traffic can't even get through. Granted, there's not that much usually, but we've got the mail trucks coming through. They actually were blocking the road last weekend to where the mail trucks couldn't get through. And it was over 10 minutes before they could. We've got shots fired all the time. And we've got people that's got holes in their cars, they've got holes in their house. The one gentleman is on oxygen, and last weekend, it just missed his oxygen tanks in his house by like an inch. You know, we shouldn't have to put up with all of this, and it's every weekend. The people aren't like from here, like it's a neighborhood bar or anything. They're from Canton. You know, and it just brings everybody through. I mean, yeah, we all did things when we were kids, but come on, 2 o'clock in the morning, just hoping that we can all work together and get this solved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Wilkins. John Wesley Sharp.
John Wesley Sharp, attorney and counselor at law, 730 Callis Drive, apartment 1201, Akron, Ohio, 44311. I'm chairman of the Coalition for a Safe Community. We are a grassroots, on-the-ground organization. We support and assist the victims of discrimination and racism in their families and confront the perpetrators. We invite victims of discrimination and racism to our meetings. As such, we have had to confront Sheriff Drew Alexander, Chief Matulovich, and others. We held a large meeting of municipal and common plea court judges. We come to City Council to bring up various issues. We marched on City Council when Jeffrey Stevenson was shot 22 times. Our board put out this statement, Coalition for a Safe Community. Our criminal justice system is broken and cannot be fixed. Racism is a disease and the whole legal system is infected. Discrimination starts when the dispatcher says black male. First, too many cars show up. Too many police using excessive force. This forms diminished responsibility like a mob. For example, in 1990, police piled on and suffocated an unarmed Armstead land. In 2008, Summit County deputies killed and sexually abused an inmate. Shortly thereafter, a 19-year-old young man named DeJohnette was observed by Akron police to swallow a lot of crack. When he was booked into the Summit County jail, he was denied medical treatment and died. When Demetrius Vincent was killed by Akron police, claimed it was suicide. 2 Akron police captains were present at the autopsy, and police refused to give the coroner the bullets. In 2008, Akron police shot an unarmed Jeffrey Stevens 21 times. Akron police shot an unarmed Elijah K. this past February. Now, this infection that starts with the dispatcher spreads to the police, prosecutor, judge, jury, jail, and probation. The police should be out preventing child abuse, enforcing restraining orders, and solving black-on-black crime. We need to get out the books. Black history is now. Black men are under attack now. We are marginalized, oppressed, degenerated in news, entertainment, and advertising. We as black men were denied jobs during Akron's recent construction. We want to explore whether the state and the city have observed the EEO clauses in their contracts, because we don't see many of us on the streets. Prejudice, discrimination, and racism keep us up at night. We feel a personal responsibility. We wanted the word to go out. We want to talk to the relatives, friends, and associates of people who have been killed by the Akron police. We think they should be recognized. Look, there will soon be another police murder in Akron. And we're going to scramble around like somebody doing something at the last minute. But you need to do something now.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharp. Ronald Smith.
Ronald Smith, 1279 Herman Street, Akron, Ohio, 44307. It's good to be back here, folks. I'm glad we kind of got through this pandemic a little bit. And it's good to see all of you. To some of the new members down here, we welcome you aboard. Madam President, members of council, members of the mayor's cabinet. I ask one thing. Just do your jobs. Now, it's fitting that I'm down here today. I wanted to come anyway just to do this, but it's fitting that this afternoon I had a visitor come to see me. I've been knowing him a long time, and he took me back in time. Ironically, he took me back to, guess what? 1968. Showed me a picture. In that picture, I don't know for sure, I'm going to look again, but I think I might have been in that picture. Then when I hear the folks talking here today, it all seems to come together, and I begin to connect these dots as I'm standing before you. Right before the pandemic, there were some studies done. You guys all know it. Y'all know the drill. You know the truth. There has to be black inclusion into our economic workforce. You have to include them. Pure point blank. You have to do that. And it's more than just food for thought. You have to do that. You guys are leaders. You have to do your job. Now, to answer that young lady's question, just to give her kind of in a nutshell, the antidote to killing is gainful employment. When you have economic empowerment, and you can go to the store to buy stuff, you don't think about doing something wrong, mostly. Now, as far as killing, everybody kills. Every ethnicity kills, okay? It just seems that African Americans do it more, but then again, they've been excluded from the economic workforce. That's not an excuse I'm offering, but it's a fact. It's the truth. Now, I'm going to be brief because I'm going to save some of this for next time. I don't want to give it all to you right now. But let me leave you with this food for thought I got from down here about 4 years ago. And it goes like this, and I quote. You folks out there, if you don't think we're doing our jobs as councilmen, then you vote us out. Voter suppression. What is that about? Vote. The most fundamental thing that we got, the most fundamental right that we got, absolutely, is the right to vote. I got a lot of love for you guys, and we can help you. Do your jobs. And keep in mind voter suppression, but also keep in mind you got to come back up for re-election. Please don't misunderstand what we're saying to you. Please don't. Please don't take us for granted. Got a lot of love for you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Reverend Pinckney.